Alright, this one's gonna be fucking a little far out, so if you don't read, no offense, I might lose you. I'm not saying that as some sort of superiority complex, I'm just saying, if you don't read psychology and philosophy and religion, I just, maybe stick around, but I might lose you. Namely, the book that I would like you to have read for this to really make sense is the history and origins of consciousness. What the fuck? Yeah, or the origins and history of consciousness by what the fuck is his name? Joseph Neumann? I don't fucking whatever his name is. I don't care. That book explains why mental health cannot be solved unless your body is in great physical shape. Now, hear me out. I like this one. This isn't necessarily, this video probably ain't gonna go nowhere, but if you like this kind of shit, I like this idea. So his idea is that there's a general pattern to life, let's just say. And it starts in the great round, right? In the birth, right? So you basically have everything, and then you have the feminine outshoot because you are symbolism. You're birthed from the mother, the feminine archetype. So you come from the great round, which is everything, into the feminine, right? And from the feminine, you individuate and you find your identity or your ego, which is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, unless it's whatever. And then you go masculine. So you go great round, you go feminine, and then you go masculine. And then there is a great, he calls it the sacred marriage of the feminine and the masculine. And then it's a return to the round. And that's the spiral, right? It's the round, and then it's female, male, the great marriage, male and female, and then back into the spiral. And here's why that proves, maybe that's the wrong word, proves why physical health is more important to mental health than fucking therapy or all the other bullshit that the modern world wants to tell you. Is because feminine is intuition, movement, emotion, sensuality, earthly, groundedness, right? It's that side of things, okay? Movement is in that, okay? The masculine is about ascension. It's about logic. It's about construction and domination in not the evil sense, but just, striving to always build higher and build higher, okay? And that's kind of where the mental health world is right now, is it exists inside the masculine part of the spiral of Neumann's fucking whole idea. Because it is basically shutting off the feminine, maybe not on purpose, but it's individuating away from the feminine. So it's like, people talk about, why don't we live primal? Why don't we live like the natives used to, barefoot this, village community this, ritual, all this stuff. Well, because that process that Norman talks about can also be like kind of mapped chronologically. And so early peoples were in the early stage, which is the feminine stage. That's why they were really in tune with nature. They were really, in tune with emotions. They moved with the earth. They were one with the earth, one with nature. They were in that early stage, feminine. And then we as people, alongside as your consciousness at the same time, there's multiple, you can layer this on top of a bunch of stuff, is we individuate into the masculine side of things. And that's, building civilization. That's building logic. That's building, the modern world that we know today. We've moved away from nature to move upwards in everything. Technology, in understanding, in science, in all this stuff. Again, not bad, good, necessary, inevitable, right? Because then now we're at this weird stage of life where evolution or whatever, where we now are in the masculine sense and we are approaching the sacred marriage. We're approaching the sacred marriage where now we started with the feminine, we moved away into the masculine, now we bring the feminine back up and re-merge it with the masculine. That's the great marriage or the sacred marriage. But we haven't quite got there, so some people look back and that's the primal bros, the fucking raw milk people and the raw honey and the barefoot people. Not bad, but they claim that that's the only way to live. And so what they're doing is they're starting here in the masculine and they're trying to regress to the feminine. Regress here instead of bringing that in to the masculine world. Well, this also works for mental health because mental health right now is all about science and meds and psychology and frameworks and blueprints and hacks and all this stuff that's in the mind. It's mental, it's masculine, it's logical, or it's rational. It's here. And, people that stay there, they don't have the sacred marriage. And the sacred marriage makes you whole. It's the thing that returns you to the round. And that's really, I think, the point of human existence is to try to make yourself whole. It's the process that he outlines of starting from the great round, being born, through from the feminine, individuating, finding yourself in the world, into the masculine, and rebringing that childlike creativity, play, sensuality into the adult life. That makes you whole. That's the sacred marriage. But that's also why physical health is the most important thing you could do for your mental health, because now you have all your understanding of the mental health problems that you have. You're in that masculine, arena of Neumann's process. And so what do you need to do? You need to marry that with the feminine, with movement, with emotion. And people don't like that idea. It's become political that fitness and mental health is a privilege thing, or it's a body shaming thing, or it's a non-acceptance of overweight people or plus size people, whatever the fuck it is, you know what I mean? Or people are underprivileged so they don't have access to gyms and blah blah fucking blah, all the excuses, you know what I'm saying? That is why when you bring movement into your life, you enter that sacred marriage arena, and that's when you will begin to experience real changes in your life. Because as long as you stay with understanding, you're not whole. You're not whole. I'm making that argument. I'm claiming that you're not whole if you just have understanding. You're just in the masculine side of the spiral. But when you marry that with the feminine side, which is movement, which is emotion, that's when you reach the sacred marriage, and the sacred marriage makes you whole. Now, if that sounded like a bunch of fucking gibberish to you, maybe. Makes sense to me. If it makes sense to you, maybe it gives you a different way to look at the world. If you've never read the book, I recommend read the book. What's it called? Fucking The Origins and History of Consciousness. But I think it's Joseph Neumann. It only says the last name. I don't remember his first name. But it's that process that I have found personally repeat in many areas of life, and especially when it came to mental health. I tried to understand everything. It didn't really change anything. As soon as I added real movement, like moving my body daily, pick whatever avenue you want. I don't care. Yoga, weightlifting, high rocks. I don't give marathon running. I don't give a fuck. Movement is the missing piece in the modern world. Movement. And we're trying. But they're going backwards and saying we need to get away from the masculine and just go back to the feminine. That's not it. You got to marry the two. And that's why I say you cannot improve your mental health until you improve your physical health first. And I say first because the order is kind of tricky, because you already have the understanding. So you don't need more of it. You already have it. So where you are right now, you already have it. So the first thing you should do, based on the fact that you already have the understanding, is add the body piece. That's the feminine side, because you already have the masculine side. So you need to pick the body first. Body first. I have this thing. I think there's a reason people say mind, body, spirit, when it really should be body, mind, spirit. You might roll your eyes and say, yeah, fucking rhymes better, flows better, whatever. It's just a saying. I agree. But also on some level, why isn't it body, mind, spirit? I think it's because we put the mind first. We're in the masculine era of evolution. And so we put the mind first because that's where we're at. But when you marry the body to the mind, that's when the mind truly heals.